What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel, episode 2 out of 60. I'm going to be cranking them out in batches of 60. Today, guys, I'm on my way to the gym. I'm going to go really deep into the dark abyss of hell. You know, all the misery, all the despair, suicidal thoughts, depression, just exhaustion, soul exhaustion, feeling like there is just no escape or release from this prison of your mind, not knowing how do I control these fucking thoughts, bogged down by negativity. Maybe you've been hurt, you've been afflicted by this pain, people telling you you're stupid and worthless and lazy. And what are you going to do about it, guys? And I know sometimes you are just so tired, exhausted, that, how can I even think about working out, reading books, cultivating a mindset? I just want to get out of my fucking head, okay? Watch the video, guys. I hope you find this helpful. I will be cranking these out every day or so. Just stay tuned. Keep watching the videos. Love you guys, and be great. I just have to tell you guys, I love you guys. I care about you guys. I hate to see our youth being poisoned by, nice McLaren. I hate to see our youth being poisoned by negative thinking, guys. Misinformation. I'm going to talk about some conspiracy theories a little bit. But guys, the greatest conspiracy is called Maya. And the Indian people 10,000 years ago had it right. Maya is an illusion, guys. We live in a shadow world, consumed by darkness and illusion. The illusion is that we are separate from God. And, maybe you don't believe this. Maybe you might consider this, whatever. Bottom line is, you're in a shitty state of mind. You don't know how to fucking deal with your thoughts. And I'm going to show you how. You need to watch this video to the end. You need to actually watch all my videos. I honestly don't care if you subscribe to my channel or not. I just want the views, okay? Give me that number. I want a big fucking number. And, guys, I know what it's like to be overwhelmed with negativity. To feel like you could just die today and no one would even go to your funeral, right? Nobody would even know. Nobody would even care. And that's just a really sad place to be. And I was there, guys. And it took me several years, probably actually all of my 20s, just to get out of that fucking rut, that hole in my head. I was agnostic. I was atheistic. I didn't believe there was a God. Why would a God create such a miserable place? Why does everyone pretend like they care about you? Really, they just have their own motives. I didn't believe I was loved. I didn't believe I was cared for. I felt like everything was just, a lie to control me, right? A sick power game. Right, and we see that all this evil, in the world being done. Why? Killing in the name of what? All these geopolitical conflicts. You see people killing people for what? A river of water. In Pakistan and India, apparently, they're just killing each other for access of the river. And my grandfather, killed your grandfather. Now you have, a blood oath, and, you're out for blood. And when are we going to just let go of these generational lines of hatred and abuse, this toxic desire to control things? Guys, I have the solution. And just watch the video to the very end. I promise it'll make you a better person. And we realize that really the number one thing that stops us from achieving our, perfect life, our destiny, if we even have a destiny. Maybe there is no destiny. Maybe there is no point. Okay, the point is take control of your life. Okay, The point is, there is a science. There is actually a systematic approach to destroying all of the negativity that haunts you and your family. There is an approach. I have the approach. Watch the video. Love you guys. We'll see you next time. What are the greatest problems of this world? You know, I think most people would say probably war, right? Killing, things of like a sociopathic, psychotic nature, right? Capital murder, you know, evil and wickedness in the world. Fortunately, we don't have too much of that. But, you know, what else? I would say probably suicide, depression, suicide. You know, those are pretty heavy problems. They don't benefit society. And I don't know if you've ever been around like a suicidal or depressive person, but they're radiating just this constant negative, feels like a black hole, right? It repels you. You want to get away from them. You know what I mean? You're like, ugh, get away from, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be around. And it's just these thoughts in their mind over and over and over again, you know? And I've talked to some people who are like that, and, you know, they think that they're a loser. The thoughts tell them, you're such a fucking loser. You can't even kill yourself. You don't even have the balls to kill you. Can you believe that there was someone that, you know, that I knew who was homeless and probably schizophrenic, and he had these thoughts in his head over and over again, like, you're such a coward. You can't even kill yourself. And I'm like, man, talk about demon possessed. That's literally what his thoughts were telling him over and over and over again. You're such a coward. You can't even do it. You can't even kill yourself. And like, the dude may have been fucking possessed by demons. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But okay, look. I'd say that the biggest problem for human beings is that they live in a state of misery. Miserable, right? What does miserable mean? Okay, the definition. A state or feeling of great distress or discomfort of the mind or body, right? Misery. So if misery is on one end of the spectrum, what's the other end of the spectrum? I would have to say it's pleasure, right? And what would be the greatest pleasure in life? You know, it's hard for people who are in misery to even think about this, to even comprehend this. You know, they don't even have an answer. They don't know because they don't spend any time there, right? You're on a continuum. Over here, misery. Over here, opposite of that, the highest pleasure in life. What is it? Guys, if you're feeling negative or depressed, this video is for you. And I want you to actually think about this. Because either you're in a state of disempowerment and you're not going to do anything about it, you're on the road to basically self-destruction and death, which is not good for anybody. I don't want you to be there. I care about you. I care about humanity. I want you to go to the opposite end of the spectrum, and I want you to think about what is the ultimate pleasure in life, right? Most people are good, and it's a good thing. Some people, very few people, are psychotic, and that the pleasure for them is to destroy things, to hurt people, right? These are the people that end up, you know, on death row, and you know, they're criminals and they're psychotic. So, you know, just because something gives you pleasure does not necessarily mean it's ethical or good, right? So we have to start there, guys. Ethical. What's the highest pleasure in life? You know, for me, believe it or not, I got a kitten, and petting her and just feeling like her love and having an animal to care for and a creature to care about gives me a great feeling of pleasure. And I never knew that this Bella, I don't know where she is, but I never knew that could be such a great source of pleasure for me. Okay. For a lot of guys, especially guys my age, they think that pleasure is sex and money and success, right? We look on Instagram. Instagram is the pleasure junkie center, right, of the internet, right? Instagram shows you everything in life that you could want. That's what Instagram is. So, you know, if you're feeling depressed, it wouldn't be such a bad idea. Go on Instagram, think about things that you might want. Okay. So the opposite of misery is pleasure. So pleasure becomes red becoming something that you desire. And what's the lack of red? The lack of red is black. You don't have it, okay? So now we move into dark red. Why am I going into darker colors? Dark colors represent the action steps that you need to take to negate black and to acquire red, okay? I want you to just kind of think about this as a metaphor, and it makes sense. And the reason why I did this is because this is how we solve problems and acquire success. You have to think about this. You have to make the logical conclusion. 1, 0, 100. One end of the spectrum, another end of the spectrum. You have to think about it this way. This is the way our universe is created. Okay, so what action steps do we need to take to not be miserable and to actually feel pleasure? And the answer people are not going to like, but this is the truth. The truth is you need to have accountability. Accountability is the action step to achieve pleasure in life. The reason why you're feeling miserable is because you don't have any accountability. Nobody's holding you accountable to actually have a pleasurable life, right? And, you know, maybe you're saying, well, you know, my parents, you know, hate me, or, you know, my boyfriend left me, or my girlfriend dumped me, or my wife cheated on me, or, you know, whatever. You may be blaming somebody for your state of misery. Hello, let me get to the good shit right now. You're blaming somebody. That's just being a coward. You're miserable because you don't have any accountability. You can't take ownership and say, I am the reason why I am miserable or highly happy, in a state of pleasure, right? I'm the reason. What is that? Accountability. I'm wearing the color dark red, okay? Accountability. Take ownership of your fucking life and your situation. Don't be a little bitch, okay? Dark red. We're going from black to dark red to maroon, right? Now maroon is actually even closer to black than red. So why am I going in this weird way? Black and then red and then dark red and then maroon. Why am I doing that? Maroon is symbolic of mastery over the darkness. If you go to any country club, you go to any super high-end restaurant, they almost always have the color maroon or burgundy. Almost always. And I'm not even fucking joking. You go around any high-end complex restaurants, you're going to see the color maroon. Country club, clubs. Why? Why maroon? Maroon is mastery over the darkness in your life. Bella, come here. Oh, there's my baby. Bella is 10 weeks old. I adopted her from the Houston Humane Society. I wanted a cuddly cat who was going to love me and let me pick her up. And I got the most cuddliest kitty you could ever ask for. Right? Hello. Hi, baby. Oh, happy cat. Happy kitty. Say hi to YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Say hi to YouTube. Okay. And, cost $50. Cats are really inexpensive. Litter and food costs less than like 50 cents a day. Not even. Dried cat food is like 10 cents a day. So you could literally have a kitten and only cost you about 10 cents a day, okay? the ROI of having a companion that you can love and take care of. I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal return on your investment. Let me just put it that way. Baby, hey Bella. So, and I realized that without the kitten, I don't spend hardly any time of my day in a state of love or adoration or affection. And baby. And okay. Gotta take a break. So I actually feel like I have attracted a lot of really depressed people in my life, and possibly suicidal. And I used to be like that. I was never suicidal, like I didn't want to die. Excuse me, per se. I didn't value my life. My absolute rock bottom, I was homeless, living in my car. I felt like nobody believed in me. I felt sorry for myself. I was constantly stoned, smoking pot constantly. I just wanted to escape my mind. I needed a release from my mind. I would hang out with friends and women who all they wanted to do was party and, smoke and drink. And I just felt so empty. I had dreams in my heart, but I didn't feel like I knew what to do. And, guys, what's the fucking first word? Accountability. I don't have any accountability. Nobody really held me to a standard. It's like I felt like my family gave up on me. They just basically said, you're a failure and you're stupid. I dropped out of college. I actually withdrew from college. I still have a 3.9, I think. But I realized that that wasn't my destiny. I didn't want that life, right? I went to a really good school, top 5 in the country, business school, Ivy League. What am I trying to say? It wasn't an Ivy League school. It was a University of Texas at Austin, but it was ranked number 5 for business. So, Ivy League class A, tier 1. I got in because I busted my ass. I had all these pressures, like, you got to do something with your life, man. We want you to be successful. We want you to be rich. Although they never told me that, but, they kind of indirectly told me that. We want you to be impressive. You're the star of the family. You're the one that's going to make our family proud. All these pressures. My mom's Asian, Asian moms are crazy. They want you to be successful. They get really mad at you. They consider their children an investment. And they want that investment to pay off. And a lot of Asian families, they want the oldest child or son is going to be the one that takes care of the parents. So in a sense, they're protecting their investment. But anyways, let's move on. Number 2 and number 3 are basically the same, but number 2, the word is nescience. And I like to use vocabulary that we don't use very often anymore. We forgot how to use words, you guys. We become so dumb as a society. Nescience, lack of knowledge or awareness, ignorance. Okay? How many people do you know in the day who are like just an ignorant moron, right? People who just talk out of their ass, spewing a bunch of nonsense, negative people. They're ignorant. And you're certainly not a suicidal, depressed, ignorant person, I'm sure. But, so what is the red? If that's the black, what's the red? The red is awareness, right? Now, what are the action steps? How do we go from black to red? Well, you got to move through dark red, right? Dark red meaning you got to start pulling in red. You got to start pulling in this intention, this desire. You got to pull it in. How? You got to think about it. You just got to think about it. The more and more you think about something, the more you're pulling it in. The reason why people are stuck in blackness is because they're pulling in blackness. Their mind is trapped. It's like a loop. It's like an infinity loop. All they're doing is looping negativity, fear. I hate myself. I want to die. There's no end. They're gridlocked, right? They're in a state of they can't get out of it. This video is going to help you break out of it. And I'm just gonna do it for you, okay? You don't even have to do anything. You just have to watch my fucking videos. I'm gonna do it for you because I've already done this many, many times. And those are the action steps, okay? So with action step, you also have a consequence. The consequence is if you don't do this action step, there's gonna be a consequence and you're gonna start pulling in blackness. Guys, your third eye, everybody wants to know what the fuck's the third eye. I know what it is. Third eye is a portal. It's the portal through which you can actually pull energy into your spirit body. That's what a third eye is. It's a portal. Everybody thinks you're going to magically open your third eye. That's stupid. If you're going to open your third eye, what does that mean? You have an infinite portal to something, right? Evil people who practice like creepy, dark arts, they're pulling in this evil kind of, knowledge. And what is evil knowledge? Evil knowledge is like, how do I siphon somebody's spirit energy, right? Vampires, how do I take from people? How do I put people in bondage? Like the movie The Matrix, right? In The Matrix, the robots are harvesting human beings as batteries, okay? There are conspiracy theories that reptilian overlords are harvesting the life energy of human beings, and that's why we die at the age of 80 or 60 or 100 or whatever. Evil entities are harvesting our life force, right? I don't know if that's true or not. I would like to believe it's not true, but what if it was true? We're human being, right? This is where, your level of fear-based thinking or not. I'm not trying to spook you guys. I'm actually trying to give you power. Because people who believe that are in a slave state. If that's what you're going to focus on and believe, what are you pulling into your soul? You're pulling in blackness and slavery to your soul. We have to pull in red. We have to pull in red energy into our soul. What does that mean? That means, guys, accountability. Okay? That means focus on pleasure. Focus on the things that you want. And the reason why I was so depressed and miserable, I was, hanging around, shitty bars and hanging around women who didn't have, any good intentions. Okay. How do we increase awareness? By learning. Okay. Learning is an action step of I want to understand reality. I want to understand life. What can I do to make my life better? An improvement is a state of pleasure, right? When you can increase the improvements in your life, you're going to feel pleasure, aren't you? So think about that. And then the color maroon, I'm going to tell you, is symbolic of mastery. Right? Maroon means you have absolute control over this darkness. I made 23 rows, 23 categories, and, watch the video, and it's going to explain to you how to have control over every single facet of your life. And some people ask me, how do you know this shit? How do you know? Right? And I'll quote the great philosopher Kanye West. And he says, how you know? I got that feeling. How you know? How you know I got that feeling? I just know, okay? You either know or you don't know. And if you don't know, you want to know. And if you don't want to know, you're being fucking lazy. You're being fucking lazy, and you gotta watch my videos. I'm gonna break your laziness. I'm gonna break the curse of negativity in your life. Anyone who watches the video, I'm gonna break it. Because you don't have the power to do it. You don't have the power to do anything. I have the power to do it, and I'm gonna just do it for you. Okay, what's the mastery of awareness? What's the mastery of learning? It's knowledge, guys. It's knowledge. How you know? I just know. How you know? I just know. Why do I know? I've been depressed. I've been cursed. I've been a terrible person. I've been mean. Maybe not wicked, but I've been mean and arrogant and angry. You know, I've had all this nastiness in my spirit. I was pulling in darkness. I had all these fears of like secret societies and, you know, the music industry and, you know, what if the world is ruled by Satan and this is just hell? And I can tell you that's just a very, very low power reality. And since then, I've been baptized, you know, I've gone to the faith, and my source is God, the unlimited, the divine, pure consciousness, pure white light. I've gone to the good side, right? I went from the dark side to the light side, and I can tell you my life has gone way better, way better. Okay, I don't spend time thinking about stupid shit that doesn't matter, right? Who rules the world? Who controls the world? I believe God controls the world, and I believe that we're here to learn things. That's why the second row is learning. Learning is going to give you awareness, is going to destroy your ignorance, and you know, you're going to have knowledge, which is a form of wisdom. So the next category is ignorance, okay? And what is the red? The red is informed. You want to be informed? How are you going to be informed of things? Well, you need to be adaptable, okay? If you're not adaptable, what does that mean? You're stubborn, you're ignorant, right? You're unaware, okay? So you want wisdom. Wisdom, guys, is learning from other people's mistakes, learning from other people like me. I'm 29 years old, and what makes me think I have the keys to the universe? Right? What makes you think I have the keys to the universe? What makes you think I know things that nobody else knows? I don't fucking know. I just believe I am. I'm an enlightened being. I've turned my eyes to God. I've seen the light. I'm here to shed the light with you. It's not just going to be easy. You're not going to get a free ride to heaven, okay? You're stuck in misery and apathy. We got to break the chains, break it. You got to watch my videos. You got to watch all my videos. I just need views. I don't even care if you subscribe or not. Just watch the fucking videos every day. Watch my videos. Okay. Number 4. Okay. We have unawareness. And why do I keep talking about unawareness, ignorance, nescience? Okay. They're all basically the same thing. I'm talking about this because, guys, the source of your misery is the fact that you're clueless to understanding the laws of reality. Either you don't know, you just don't know, right? Why is it that wealth has been safeguarded from generation to generation? The rich keep getting richer, everybody else is stuck because they don't know. If you knew there was an opportunity and you just put $1,000 invested into Google stock back in 1990, and you just knew that 30 years later you were going to be a billionaire from that stock, would you have scraped up $1,000 if you could travel back in time? If you knew the winning lottery numbers and you could teleport to the past and all you had to do was just write the numbers down, you would become rich. It's the same thing, guys. Knowledge is power. Okay. So anyways, I'm going to try to go a little bit faster because it's taking longer than I wanted it to. Okay, so if you're feeling kind of unaware and clueless in life, you don't have a direction. What am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do. My life is just confusing. I have no path. You need to be observant. Okay, the action steps of being observant is being observational, is having insight. And having insight, okay, A self-realized person, a master of being insightful, a master of observation, someone who is extremely aware, someone like myself. Guys, it's an attitude of humility. Now that sounds kind of cocky, right? Sounds kind of self-righteous. I'm telling you, I'm a master of humility. But guys, being humble means I don't have all the answers, right? I have a lot of answers, okay? I believe that I will become the world's first trillionaire. I believe that I will become probably one of the most viewed people ever. And, that's a goal, but I'm still humble enough to say, look, I don't have all the answers. I'm not super rich yet, although I have experienced, a bit of success, and I'm on my way, okay? Humility is saying that I'm not there yet, and I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to grow and learn from someone else who is a master. If you introduce me to a billionaire, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to listen, right? You introduce me to a spiritual master, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to listen. And maybe in the back of my head, I'm going to carefully scrutinize what they're saying, right? Do I believe what they're saying? This is called insight. This is called being insightful. Okay, let's move quickly, guys. Someone who is in a lot of pain. Pain is the next word. We're trying to go into our spirit, our mind, our soul, our database of every thought we've ever had. We're trying to delete the virus. You want to delete all this blackness from your mind and your soul. You want to replace it with the color red. Red meaning success, black meaning failure. Okay, I made it very simple. Obviously, there are other chakras and colors, but I made it stupidly simple. We're only going to talk about red continuum. Every other color came from the color red. Red is the first color. Every color evolved from that color. Someone who's in a lot of pain. What is the opposite of pain? I don't think it's pleasure. I think pleasure is the opposite of misery. But pain is a part of misery. And the opposite is power. So how are you going to have power if you're always in pain? Okay? You may have chronic pain. You may have back pain. You may have pain in your body, or you may have pain in your mind. Spiritual pain, someone's hurt you, you're hurt. You're feeling hurt. Well, guys, the action step is actually control. And I may be the first person who's ever told you that. To remove the pain in your life, you need to increase your control of reality. The colors are red, dark red. Okay, when you have mastered control, you have actually achieved dominion. Dominion. Everyone thinks that they want a mansion and a Lamborghini and a private jet and, a bunch of trophy girlfriends or wives or whatever. And that would represent the ultimate dominion, right? I am the ruler and the king of my life. Because we go on Instagram and what do we see? We see motivational quotes with jets and cars and bags of cash. I'm not making this up. This is on Instagram everywhere. Okay, billionaire lifestyle of the super rich. And you're saying like, bro, I'm just trying to not be depressed anymore. And I'm telling you, whether or not your goal is to get to the very top or, just get out of this shitty circumstance, the answer is the same. It's universal. You need to have control. You need to increase your level of control. You will have more power. And eventually you may achieve dominion. Dominion meaning total control. Guys, if this universe is ruled by God or angels or devils or, evil people or conspiracies or actually, the Messiah will return, whatever you believe about this reality, the answer is the person in control calls all the shots, right? So wouldn't you like to be that person in control? If you had billions of dollars, you probably wouldn't have to worry about paying rent, right? If you had a network of the most powerful governments and human beings alive, and they were all your friends, don't you think that would add a bit more control to your destiny rather than believing that you're just at the mercy of anyone, the boss, or these evil reptilian aliens who are siphoning your life. Guys, that's stupid. That's a stupid thing to believe. I believe that God is in control. I believe that God is good. I believe that light dominates darkness. We're trying to go from black to bright fucking red, okay? When you have bright fucking red in your life, you're busy. You're busy making your dreams come true. When you're busy, you don't have time to worry about stupid shit like whether or not aliens control the universe, okay? Next category is laziness. What's the opposite of laziness? Well, obviously it's motivation, being motivated. And how do you increase motivation? What are the action steps of motivation? It's training. What are the consequences if you don't train yourself? You become lazy, right? Laziness is as a result of not training yourself. You know, you could say training is a form of exercise. So what is the mastery of training? I would tell you being like an athlete, athleticism, right? You can swap these words out for star performer, number one, you know, best industry performer. But I can tell you what, most people who are trapped in this negativity and depression, they're not thinking about being a champion level producer. They're just thinking about like, they're gridlocked, right? You're gridlocked. I'm going to keep making this motion over and over again. Infinity sign. You're gridlocked in negativity. You can't even think about training, right? And to a lazy person, to a negative person, to someone who is just exhausted in the depths of hell in their mind, suffering all the time, depressed and hurt. When I say the word training, you got to train. We got to work out. We got to train. Why do you think I'm talking about fitness and goals and motivation? You got to train, guys. And then all of a sudden, what happens? Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No. Oh my God, no, not training. Why would you want to do more work? Why would you want to do more work? I'm already so spent. I'm already so tired. I don't have any energy. You're energy poor. You need to train. Exhaustion, constant fear-based thinking, procrastination, bad attitude. This is the curse of human existence. What are you going to do? You're going to train. You're going to train yourself. Okay, I'm looking at the camera and then I'm looking at myself. That's why my eyes are going back and forth. Anyways, become athletic. You want to become an athlete. You're a sloppy, fat, fucking mess of a human being and you're not training yourself. So what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? What the fuck are you doing? You need accountability. You don't have accountability. I'm going to give you accountability. Okay? What's the next thing? Exhaustion. What's the opposite of exhaustion? It's actually being energized. Okay? Similar to what I just said. But guys, you're trapped in this negative spell, right? You're trapped in negative thinking. You don't know how to get out of it. You know, you're stuck. You're stuck. What are the action steps, right? Giving up. Giving up is the action step of exhaustion, right? Now I actually made a negative action step, giving up. Okay? So what is the mastery of giving up? It's called committed, right? It's called committed. You're not committed to anything. You're fucking lazy, right? You're not committed to action steps. You're not committed to training. You have no control. You have no insight. You're not willing to learn. You're not adaptable, okay? Why? You have no accountability. You're miserable, right? Misery is a form of apathy. Apathy is a form of laziness. Laziness is a form of giving up. You're exhausted. You gave up a long time ago. You know, my mom used to kind of bully me when I was a kid. She probably feels guilty about it. She acts like she doesn't remember. I remember. But you know what? Actually, thankful. Mom, thank you for doing this. Every single fucking day, she would scream at me and tell me that I'm lazy and worthless. Lazy and worthless. I don't know. Did I do something wrong? Was I just a spoiled kid? Maybe I was. Was I just like a really demanding child, and that's why she was infuriated at me for being demanding when I was just being a mooch? Maybe. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what her mom told her. Maybe it's a generational curse, but it's like over and over and over again, like fucking psychotic. Lazy, you're stupid, and you're lazy, and you're worthless, and you're lazy. Stupid is so just like over and like, oh my God. What happens to a kid's subconscious mind when you drill that into his mind? Maybe he starts to believe it, right? Maybe somebody assaulted your mind, made you feel like you're worthless, lazy, stupid, right? Now, I'm not trying to berate you guys, but it's like you need to learn how to control the negativity. If you can master the darkness, somebody's going to tell you that, and you're going to look at them and be like, who the fuck are you, right? So, Mom, you know, I love you, but it's like you're telling me I'm lazy, and none of you guys ever fucking went to a gym. None of you guys ever counted your calories. None of you guys ever started a business. None of you guys ever woke up super early, had high performance. None of you guys ever read books by billionaires. Action steps. What the fuck are you going to tell me about being lazy, right? No, I'm actually the most energized, right? I'm the most powerful. I'm the most motivated. I'm the most energized. I'm observant. I'm informed. I'm aware. And I have a lot of fucking pleasure in my life. Why? You gotta be high performance, right? The mastery of accountability is high performance. When you're accountable day in and day out, every single day you're accountable, that's high performance. That's knowledge. You have knowledge because you have wisdom. You have wisdom because you have humility. You're willing to learn. You're willing to say, I don't know, I don't have all the answers yet, but I'm willing to learn. Willing. Okay? And what is all that power going to give you? Dominion. You're going to have dominion. I'm in control of this fucking machine called a brain. I'm in control. I'm pulling in the pure light. The light of God. So my tattoo says, I am the light of God. Okay? Dominion. Why? Because you're training, you're athletic, you're committed. Okay? Are you getting exhausted already just listening to this? Good. We're going to stamp out the fucking loser in your head. Cut him down. Right? You don't have to do it. I'm going to do it for you. You just watch my fucking videos. Okay? Because I have more than enough. Now, depression. Oh, God, these words. Misery, nescience, ignorance, unaware, pain, laziness, exhaustion, depression. The next one is the worst one, suicide, but we're not there yet. Depression. What's the opposite of depression? I'm going to tell you guys, pride. It's pride. And you say, how is pride the opposite of depression? Pride is the opposite of depression because when you're full of pride, you're happy, you're vital, you're accomplished, right? Pride is a state of achievement. You keep hitting achievement. And guys, I didn't really hit pride until recently because I felt like, I kept failing. I felt like, dude, when are you going to figure it out? Because that's what everybody told me. When are you going to figure it out, man? When are you going to get your shit together? How can you feel proud of yourself if you don't have results? So what's the action step of pride? It's achievement, but what I really should say is results. And what is the mastery of achievement? I put champion. You're a fucking champion. Are champions depressed? No. Losers are depressed. Why aren't you winning? Because you don't have any results. Because you gave up a long time ago. Giving up. You see how these all feed each other? It's all a grid. If you give up, you're not energized, right? If you have achievement, that means you are committed and you're most likely training a lot. You're like an athlete. Now you have control and power and dominion. You see what I mean, guys? You want to be on this end of the spectrum, loser, depressed, giving up, fat, tired. I'm gonna be on this side. Champion who has dominion and pride. And I do have those things. Why? I'm gonna tell you why, but we're not done yet. Okay, the next one. I may just end the episode here because this is the heaviest one. And the word is suicide. Ooh. Suicidal. Okay, the reason why people are suicidal is because they actually don't believe they have anything to give. So the intention and the desire is actually to be able to give. And, it's terrible because people feel like they don't have anything to give. They're worthless. Being worthless means you have nothing to contribute to the world. And my mom told me I was worthless like almost every single day of my childhood. I don't know why you did that. However, the nice thing about it is, you can get angry, right? I started getting angry. I said, who the fuck are you going to tell me I'm worthless? What the fuck did you do with your life? The fuck did you do with your life? I'm getting angry. I'm pulling in power. I'm pulling in red. I'm saying, you don't determine my worth, right? I'll show you, right? Reject it, annihilate it, destroy it, right? You don't tell me what I'm worth. I'm worth the most. I'm going to be a trillionaire, right? So for someone to go from worthless to trillionaire, hey, trillionaire means I'm worth a lot. I'm worth a lot, actually. I'm worth the most worthy. Okay, suicidal. You have nothing to give, right? You forgot that you have something to contribute to the world. You need standards. Every single one of these rows fuels the other. They're all part of this infinity loop. I just basically put 23 points on the infinity loop, but it's that they're all basically the same thing. They're all parts of the same thing. Okay? And you're either here or here, but there are a series of steps, right? Because maybe 10 out of 23 are actually pretty good, but maybe 13 of them are not so good, right? So it's going to be kind of infinity, but then it's going to stop. It's going to be like infinity, then it's going to stop, right? So look, what are the action steps of giving? Well, it's actually like inadequacy, weakness, and actually, guys, the answer to getting out of this is forgiveness. You need to forgive others who hurt you, who told you that you're worthless. You need to forgive them, because by forgiving them, you're going to take their power away they're going to take your power away. And because they tried to take your power away, right? They tried to take your power away. They were actually siphoning your self-esteem. They're taking your self-esteem and they're making it into their pride, like they are the source of your self-esteem, right? It's an ego thing. That's what wicked and selfish people do. They try to steal your self-esteem because they want to be the source of your validation, right? They want to be God over you. And, you got to forgive them. When you forgive them, you actually take your power back. You actually don't have to fight them. You actually don't have to defeat them. You actually just have to forgive them. When you forgive them in your heart, you're going to take all of your power back. It's hard to do. It's very hard to do, because forgiveness is actually giving to yourself, right? You're going to give to them. They took from you. You're going to give to them. You're going to give them forgiveness. And what's going to happen? You're going to, all of your power is going to come back to you. This is probably the most important point of the entire video. And, you'll start making forward progress, right? You got to forgive. Okay, now, should I do the rest? I guess I'll do the rest really, really fast. Look, guys, you have hopelessness, right? People who are uneducated. I'm just writing down trigger words. All of these 23 words in the black spectrum, they're just trigger words. They're words that keep you permanently locked in this negativity, right? It's uneducated. It's poverty. It's a state of lack. It's feeling like you're poor. It's feeling like you're stupid, right? It's feeling like you're worthless. It's feeling like you're a failure, and it's having a lot of shame, and you could possibly feel kind of abandoned, and there may be a lot of grief. You're holding on to just a lot of grief. You're grieving, you're sad, right? You have kind of apathy. You're apathetic. You just don't care anymore, right? You just gave up. Maybe you have hate. Maybe you have hate in your heart. And maybe you actually have spite, right? You're spiteful. I don't want you to tell me that. I don't want you to tell me that, right? Leave me alone. You leave me alone. Spiteful. So guys, when you're feeling hopeless and uneducated, in poverty, with a state of lack, you're feeling poor, you're feeling stupid, you're feeling worthless, which is what my mom loved to tell me: you're stupid and you're worthless. You're a failure. That means like I'm ashamed of you. I've abandoned you. You're not good for me. You're no good. We don't want you anymore, right? Well, that makes you sad. You're grieving, grief. You have apathy. I just don't care anymore. Fuck it. Fuck it. I might as well just get drunk. Fuck it. And then you may have hate. Deep down inside, you loathe them. You hate them. You have spite, right? Spiteful. You become cynical and angry. So the solution, you guys, is, how do you become smart? Well, you have to network. You want to join a mastermind. You want to be around others who are smart. And, to get out of poverty, you want abundance. Abundance is actually getting rid of cynicism. It's actually having optimism. You want to have a better attitude. Bad attitude, right? Optimism. Okay, you're feeling like you're in a state of lack, scarcity. How do you have plenty? You gotta take action, okay? We all have an abundance of time. What you actually have to do is make your time scarce. When you make your time scarce, you actually start getting results, right? This is called accountability. Okay, you feel kind of poor, in lack. Okay, you may want to be rich. Maybe you dream about having a nicer car, having a nicer apartment, whatever. Well, you need to apply yourself, right? The action step is application. Apply yourself. And the mastery of that, you'll have surplus. You'll have more than enough because you are taking massive amounts of action. You're applying yourself, right? You feel stupid. Okay, well, how do you become a genius? It's through education, guys. And the mastery of education is invention. Inventing new ideas, new solutions. You could just say it's creativity. When you feel worthless, okay, well, what's high worth? High worth, I guess you could say, is ultra wealth. Being ultra wealthy is worth a lot, right? I'm worth a lot. And that's the action steps is you got to create value. You got to value yourself. You got to value others. What's the mastery of value? I would say it's actually to become irreplaceable. How do you become irreplaceable when you feel like you're just working a dead-end job? How do you become irreplaceable when you feel like you're not special, right? How do you become irreplaceable? You got to create value. You got to create value in others. You got to give value to other people. You got to make other people feel valuable. You will become valuable. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 left. You feel like you are a failure. Well, what's the opposite of that? Being like legendary, being like a tycoon, right? Being like ultra successful. And how do you do that? What's the action steps? You gotta have goals, right? People who are master of their goals become elite. They become elite because they know they achieve their goals over and over and over again. To be elite doesn't mean you're born into it. Being elite means you know that you're going to hit your goals because you've demonstrated commitment. You keep achieving your goals. I woke up early. I got the job done. I stayed late. I'm networking for success. Every hour of my day, I'm, being productive. And, you feel shameful, okay? You feel ashamed. What's the opposite? Well, actually, we all want to become kind of like superstars, right? We want to be celebrated. We want people to celebrate us. And how do we do that? Well, you guys, you got to make improvements. Think about Hollywood. Think about how many people are trying to become, an actor or an actress or something. And how are they going to stand out and become industry leaders? To become, star in a blockbuster film or something. How they stand out like that? Well, some people think you're born with it. You're not born with it. Okay, it's constantly improving yourself. You look at The Rock and what's his name? The Rock is always friends with God, I can't remember his name right now. Kevin Hart. And you look at these guys, and both of them work out like crazy. Kevin Hart runs like 10, 15 miles a day. They both wake up super early. There's no reason why there's no coincidence that Kevin Hart is the highest paid comedian in the world, better than Jerry Seinfeld. There's no reason why The Rock, there's no coincidence why The Rock is like the third most followed person on Instagram. Guys, it's excellence, right? He's an industry leader because he's excellent. And, okay, you're feeling abandoned. So you actually want to feel loved, right? How do you feel loved? You got to nurture others. And what's the mastery of nurturing others? You need to become like a healer. Okay, if you're always feeling abandoned, you need to love and nurture others. And how do you nurture others who have hurt you and are no good for you? Well, you got to be smart. You got to be smart with your time, okay? Maybe you're not supposed to nurture that person. Maybe you're supposed to actually just help other people. Okay, you're feeling a lot of grief and you want to feel joy, right? How do you feel joy? Well, guys, joy is in your mindset. It's your attitude. Okay, what's the mastery of joy? It's the spirit of thanksgiving, okay? You can be thankful for the things that you have. You will experience more joy. And then we have apathy, okay? Well, people who are apathetic, just don't care anymore, gave up. You don't have a purpose, right? How are you going to have a purpose? Actually, guys, the action step to have purpose in life is discipline, right? When you stay up late, you don't set an alarm clock. You just wake up whenever the fuck. I used to do that. You don't have any discipline. You don't have any discipline because you don't have any purpose. You don't have any purpose because you're feeling sorry for yourself, right? It's a self-sustaining lock, okay? You want this to be vibrating on the red spectrum, okay? You have purpose because you have discipline. What's the mastery of discipline? It's control. Goes back to what I said about dominion. Okay, last two. And congratulate yourself for watching this because, you're ready. You're ready to take the steps that you need. You're ready to, get rid of this bullshit, negativity, the blackness. You're ready, okay? When you feel hate, you hate somebody who's hurt you. You hate, people who have taken advantage of you and wronged you. You really actually want to have gratitude. You really actually want people to appreciate you. You hate them because they don't appreciate you for what you did for them. You sacrificed for them, but they took advantage of you, and you hate them for that. But instead of hating them for that, you could be grateful because they're teaching you that you need to be careful about who you surround yourself with, right? It's your attitude. And what's the mastery of attitude? It's actually generosity. It's actually giving. Jesus said, love your enemies, but I would say, don't surround yourself with enemies. Okay. You don't need to hate your enemies. Okay. Maybe we hate that there's wrong in the world. We hate that there, is injustice. Maybe you hate that, but, to have gratitude means to be thankful of, others, and it's to actually just be generous of your time and be smart of your time. The last thing is spite. Right, feeling spite is actually kind of a form of jealousy, and what you really actually want is respect. You're spiteful because they don't respect you, right? You're spiteful because your neighbor has a Ferrari and you're driving a fucking beat up Camry, and you're jealous because it's like, oh yeah, it must be easy for you, it must be nice for you. You don't have to suffer the way I've suffered. You know, you didn't have to grow up the way I did. And you're actually just jealous. You're spiteful because you're jealous. And you don't know what they went through, and you don't know what they had to do to get to where they are, okay? And what's the mastery of jealousy? It's admiration. You need to find things that you can admire about others. Because when you admire somebody, you actually paying them respect. How are you going to get respect if you don't give respect, guys? Everything that you give is what you become. And most people in a very negative attitude are not giving anything. They're giving misery. They're giving grief. They're giving worthlessness, right? They're giving spite. They're giving hate. So no wonder you feel like shit all the time. You're not giving anything worthwhile, right? So I hope this helps. Consider what I said is the truth. And, you know, I'm not saying this to make you feel, you know, less than what you should. I'm saying this because this is what you got to do. Get out of that curse. Get out of that trap. You're trapped, right? You're stuck. How you get out of that? You get out of that by everything I just fucking said. Watch my videos, okay? See you guys later.